We're going to be looking at a third example of function composition given charts or numeric form. This time we're going to be working with 3 layers. This is why we have 3 different function charts. Let's take a look. Alright, example 3, what is, so let's read this together, h of g of f of 1. So we have 3 layers. Again, you always want to focus on the inside first. Our first layer, our first function is f of 1. Then the next function is g, so that'd be the middle layer. And then, let's use orange, the outside layer is h. So always work from the inside out to solve these. So let's look at f of 1 first. Let's look at our chart and see what that is. Well, actually, let's go to step 1 so we can read it. It says determine the inner function value. So we want to focus on f of 1 first. We'll use orange this time since it said since inner was in orange. So let's go to our charts. Let's find f of 1. Alright, so f of 1, if we look at x, f of 1 is equal to negative 1. So we're going to replace f of 1 with negative 1. So now notice we have another layer to work on, our g layer. It's not the outermost, but it is more outer than f. So now we're going to find g of negative 1 for step 2, determine outer function value. So you could call it the middle, right, if you wanted to, but it's more outer than f. So let's now find g of negative 1. So we have to go to the g chart. So now that we found negative 1 was the output of f, what's g of negative 1? G of negative 1 is 2. So we're going to replace g of negative 1 with 2. And now we can find our outermost h of 2. So now let's look on our charts and see what h of 2 is. So the output for g was 2, now it becomes the input for h. Pretty cool. Alright, so now here's our h chart. H of 2 is equal to 1/2. Therefore, our final answer is 1/2. Therefore, this answers our original question. H of g of f of 1 equals 1/2. You have the output of f becomes the input of g, and then that input of g, that output that you get from g becomes the input of h, and then you have your final output 1/2. That's it for this example. If you have any other questions about it, let me know.